That's what makes the solo so magical right there. Yes, it's one note. Now, it's one note that's played as a unison, so it's actually two notes. It's two Ds. Fast with a lot of notes can be a lot of fun. Of course, it's more technically challenging. But slowing down and choosing your notes really carefully has its place too. As we're going to see in this episode of Great Canadian Bands. It's Neil Young, and particularly his solo in Cinnamon Girl. There's just so many incredible Neil Young tunes, very hard to pick one. I picked Cinnamon Girl, well, for the solo, but also because the riff is just so cool. It probably is partially why he has the nickname the Godfather of Grunge, because it's a drop D tuning. Of course, drop D was around long before Neil. We can go back centuries and find drop D in the music of John Dowland and stuff. But certainly in rock, he was one of the first, of course, along with Sabbath. So Neil, hailing from Winnipeg, where it's winter right now, like it is here in Ontario. So it's, I don't know what it is, -40. It's -20 in Ontario right now. So yeah, we're feeling the Canadian winter. And Neil, of course, went to California and got in a little band called Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Incredible songwriting and of course vocal harmonies. Their four-part harmonies, just incredible. And then Neil's band, Crazy Horse, raw rockin' stuff, Rust Never Sleeps, incredible stuff, and that's when we're looking at Cinnamon Girl. So the riff of Cinnamon Girl, well, first of all, the tuning. So we're double drop D. That means the sixth string is a low D, which I just tuned from the fourth string, right? Let me get you in here a bit more. It's an octave below the fourth string. And then the first string is also a D. So, you could just hold a D on your second string and match it. It's got to be a unison, right? Instead of an E, hold a D. So then we have a big D chord. Sounds like the opening to Rage Against the Machine, right? But we have this great riff. And then the verse, nice chords, D, A minor, C, C add 9, G, which of course you have to finger differently because of the tuning being dropped down. There's definitely two guitars in the track, the solo guitar, so one of them might be standard, but they're likely both dropped. That's what makes the solo so magical right there. Yes, it's one note. Now, it's one note that's played as a unison, so it's actually two notes. It's two Ds. So that's pretty clever right there, because it fills it out, right? So the solo just goes something like this. Caught there, but there are two other little notes, right? Just at the end there, he does a B, a C to a B, and then answers the lick with that heavy. Definitely you can hear what would later be a Seattle sound, Soundgarden kind of sound, Spoonman and stuff, that drop D sound. So one note, so what makes it interesting? The rhythm guitars are arpeggiating that chord sequence. So if we look at the single note, the D, over the chord progression, here's what you get. You get a D, a unison, the root of the chord. The next chord's A minor with a D, so it's a fourth. And if the other guitarist is actually playing the A minor, then it's not a sus4, it's an 11, isn't it? It's actually got both notes. That's pretty colorful. C add 9. C add 9. just a C with a D in it, in this case 2, and G. So you see how the single note, its character changes because of the chord changes. So it's one thing to have a song rocking on an A or an E and you play one note. It probably won't sound as great as if the chord changes are making the note sound, changing its character, each chord. Going fast with a lot of notes can be a lot of fun. Of course, it's more technically challenging. But slowing down and choosing your notes really carefully has its place too. All right, I hope you enjoyed that quick look at Neil's famous one-note solo. As we now know, maybe a two-note solo, or is it a four-note solo? Basically a one-note solo. You don't need your full pentatonic or blues scale to take a solo, do you? Just have to have an interesting rhythm. I think next up we're going to look at some hip. So if you're enjoying this, please consider liking and subscribing. I'll put up the links there. Click that notification bell. Someone told me they didn't see that I had posted a new video and they wanted to, so you got to hit that bell. Stay good, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.